and we're tired of taxes going up. And that's the message we're going to send on October 4th and 5th. I'll tell you something, we're going to send that to the media as well. I mentioned these earmark things earlier. We had pursued the CBS Evening News for a number of months to cover what we were doing. And they wouldn't give us the time of day. They wouldn't call us back. They wouldn't come to any of our events. Finally, about a month ago, they called us and they said, Tim, we want to do a story on one of these earmarks. You pick one out and we're going to cover it. I'm thinking, man, this is a sham. There's no way they're going to cover us. Come on, give me a break. What's the hook? There was no hook. They came out, we gave them the earmark, they covered it. I have to tell you what the earmark was because it's equally outrageous and it'll only take a couple minutes. We were looking at Congressman Jerry Lewis's earmarks. Jerry Lewis, unlike his comical namesake, is not a funny guy. He is one of the biggest pork barrel earmarkers in Congress. He's on the Appropriations Committee. And we noticed that, he's from California, by the way. We noticed that there was an earmark for $500,000 to, quote, beautify a subway stop, a metro stop in Washington, D.C. Now, there are 122 subway or metro stops in Washington, D.C. It's a lot of metro stops, right? We began wondering, why would a California congressman get federal money to, quote, beautify, $500,000 to beautify a metro stop, and why would it be that particular metro stop? Why wouldn't he pick, say, one here or there in Washington? So one of our young staffers began digging, and he did a property check. And I know you're going to be shocked to hear this, but he did a property check. He found out that a townhome registered in Congressman Lewis's wife's name, who, by the way, happens to be the congressman's chief of staff, was 4 blocks away from that metro stop. And the number one way, as anyone will tell you in Washington, D.C., to increase the value of your home is to do what? Is to have the best possible metro stop and neighborhood close to your place. When you look at real estate listings in Washington, D.C., the first thing they put after the house is only 2 blocks away from this metro stop, only 3 blocks away. That's the kind of outrage we're facing. And so we took that to the CBS Evening News, we did the story, they really beat up Congressman Lewis for this and said, don't do this anymore. And I asked the lady, to the reporter, I said, okay, I got to ask you, Cheryl, what changed your mind? Why did you suddenly decide to start covering these earmark issues? And she said something that ought to give all of us encouragement to keep doing what we're doing. This is the CBS Evening News. I would argue not exactly a foundational conservative group. That was a joke. It's okay to laugh at that point. But anyway, she said, Tim, we do extensive polling, and we very closely track who comes to our website, who watches our telecast, and we ask them always, what are they most interested in and what are they angriest about? The two things, what are they most interested in, and then what makes them the maddest? What makes their blood boil? And she said the number one item, domestically, forget foreign policy, but domestically, was earmark and the corruption that goes with it. So you're making a difference by demanding an end to wasteful spending and to things like earmarks. I would urge you to keep it up. I hope you'll come up and join us on October the 4th and 5th for this conference. We're going to do a couple of things beyond just sending a message to Congress and sending a message to the media. By the way, CBS is coming, NBC is coming. They want to see if we really have troops, if there are people really fed up with the spending and the waste in government. And we're going to send a message then that yes, they are. Most of the leading presidential candidates are going to be there. Guys like Fred Thompson and Ron Paul and Senator Brownback and Mitt Romney are all confirmed to come. We've invited really all of them because we want them to see a room of folks that are fired up about spending issues because maybe it will inspire them to do the right thing as well. John Stossel from ABC News is going to be there, who's a great free market leader. I was talking to John last week. Guess what his next primetime special is going to be about? No, he's already done earmarks. He is so pumped up. He is doing a rebuttal to Michael Moore's National Healthcare Sicko. Is that great or what? And believe it or not, because it was ABC News that made the request to Moore, Michael Moore sat down for an interview with Stossel. And Stossel showed me some of the clips, and he kills Michael Moore. I mean, he whips him up one side and down the other. You're going to love it. So that's coming out in September, but Stossel's going to be there. Art Laffer, Dr. Laffer, who was the Laffer curve, which was an inspiration to Reagan economic policies. A number of other speakers are going to be there, but we hope you'll join us. Dallas will have more news about that. But I tell you, right here in North Carolina, you know, we're in a southern state, and that ought to mean low tax rates, right? You would think that's what it means. But when you look at North Carolina, I grew up in South Carolina. When I was growing up in South Carolina, candidly, we were way behind you guys on the economic front, on the job creation front. And South Carolina is not anymore. And when you look at job creation, economic growth, and the other factors, Virginia and South Carolina are doing better. And I'm telling you, it's because of the tax rates right here in North Carolina. It's difficult to be competitive when you're asking families and businesses to pay more in taxes than they can get when they go right next door on either side. And that's what, I know Dallas is working on, I know that's what you guys are working on, but that's the kind of message we ought to take to folks. That really is the message we ought to take to folks. Because you look at North Carolina, the quality of life is here, the trained workforce and with a good work ethic is right here. I mean, this is a great place to be, and it's the kind of place I grew up in. It feels like home here, but it's the tax rates and the spending that goes along with it that are inhibiting your ability to create the jobs and to build the hope and dream, the hope of the American dream that keeps folks from coming here. And we can change that, and your work can change that. So thank you for being here. Thanks for all you're doing, and again, thanks for letting me come out with you.
Thanks, Tim. Now, everybody that's on the Wake County taxpayer mailing list should have gotten one of these in the mail with a letter from Russell Katz. Now, Russell Katz is helping lead the group going up. I'm trying to think who else is going. Eric's going in the back. Woody and Dwayne are going. Kim is going. Claudia's going. I'm going. Chris Farr's going. Now, we need to encourage Harry Everly. Harry is on the end of the diving board waiting to go into the pool. And y'all, we got to get him to take one more step. Trying to get Marilyn to go. She's still thinking about it, but I need to get some more people to go. We've put together an incredible bus trip for $199. We're going to leave the morning of October 4th. We're going to go up there. We're going to meet with our members of Congress on the Hill. We're going to have a beautiful reception at the top of the Heritage Foundation, and then we're going to spend 2 nights at a nice hotel in Washington. Then we have the conference all day Friday. You know, Ron Paul, Mitt Romney, and lots of other good speakers. We're going to have some grassroots training and the tribute to Reagan dinner Friday night.
Lunch and dinner and breakfast.
Yeah, I mean, almost all your meals covered in this. And then we're going to go do some sightseeing on Saturday morning. Planning to go to the new World War II Memorial, which is beautiful. I know everybody hasn't been there yet. We'll see a couple other things. I'll have you back home Saturday evening right after dark. And I encourage you to really think about this. This is an opportunity, and people always ask me, how do I make a difference? How do I make a difference? By going, and your presence will make a difference. Because when those reporters, when those members of Congress walk in that room and they see 1,000 people who are a constituency group for limited government, it will make a difference. So I urge you to consider this. We've made it very affordable. My colleague Chris Farr here tonight and I can get you any information you want. Also, if you have an interest, if you have a young person as part of your family or part of your community that you'd like to send, we have some scholarships available, or if you're interested in providing a scholarship for a young person to try to train a young activist to fight for these economic groups, we can do that as too. But this is going to be a fun trip. Besides doing something for your country and for your government, we're going to have a great time. So I encourage you to think about it. And I thank you for what you do, and I'm always glad to be a part of it. And so just let us talk to Chris and I after the event tonight, and we'll get you any information you need. Thanks a lot.